Part 8. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 71. As soon as Li Wanbo's quotation came out, everyone present and the audience in the live broadcast room were all stunned. Time seemed to stand still at this moment. It was obviously the number just now that had a huge impact on everyone. I don't know how long it took before anyone in the live broadcast room reacted. Did I hear it wrong just now? How much did the God of Wealth say? 99.99. Sorry, there is one 10,000 word missing. It is 99,999,999. I just went back and listened to it again. I can't be wrong. Isn't this just 100 million? Is this a number I can hear? Oh my God, is the God of Wealth crazy? He casually took out 100 million as a reward. Yeah, is this mall that important to him? This is a business war. This shopping mall may not be much, but it can affect the overall layout of others. Spend 100 million to add a bargaining chip to yourself. This is a number I can only see when I burn paper for my ancestors. I want to see what Yang Lin has to do to be worthy of this 100 million reward. Redesigning the entire shopping mall will probably cost less than 100 million. What I don't quite understand is why the God of Wealth believes in Yang Lin so much. In fact, not only the netizens in the live broadcast room were puzzled, but even Yang Lin himself did not expect that the person in front of him could pay him such a high price. Until he took a look at Li Wanbo's face, he was immediately stunned. The heaven is full, the earth is round, the eyebrows are longer than the eyes, and the ears are as high as the ears. Is there really such a natural noble appearance in the world? No wonder he got rich. After understanding this, he quickly realized that Li Wanbo was sure that he could bring him a return far higher than 100 million, so he offered such a sky-high price. Just when Yang Lin was looking at Li Wanbo's face, Li Wanbo also spoke again. Please don't mind, Taoist priest. Originally, I wanted to offer you a price of 100 million, Taoist priest, but I have a habit of doing business. No matter who it is, I have to give up a piece of the profit. After hearing Li Wanbo's explanation, Yang Lin nodded immediately. Good habits. No wonder you, Mr. Li, have a steady stream of money. But do you really believe that Pandeo can solve your problem for you? As soon as Yang Lin finished speaking, Li Wanbo chuckled and said, I have been in business for so many years, and my intuition has always been very accurate. I can feel that you are my noble person, Taoist priest. It won't be long before you can bring me a return of well over 100 million. Okay, since Mr. Li said so, I'll take this business. After saying that, Yang Lin looked at Academician Su beside him. When Yang Lin saw this, Academician Su was a little confused. Until Yang Lin said the next words. Mr. Su, I want to tell you in advance that if I want to help Mr. Li, I may slightly change your design. As soon as Yang Lin said these words, Academician Su was stunned for a moment. No problem, Taoist priest, feel free to change it. After getting permission from the original designer, Yang Lin measured the square in front of the mall with his feet in the next second in front of everyone. Then I observed the overall structure of the mall. Not long after, a look of confidence appeared on his face. With just the paper and pen, I started scribbling and drawing. With a trace of curiosity, everyone came to him one after another. Under the gaze of everyone, Yang Lin drew the outline of the entire shopping mall with just a few strokes. The only difference from the current shopping mall is that he designed a sunken plaza right in front of the shopping mall. There is a curved screen wall on the left and right sides of the square, and the screen walls are covered with paintings of Taoist gods. That's not all. In addition to the sunken square, there are also two warriors placed on both sides of the main entrance of the mall. One warrior holds a sword in his hand, and another warrior holds a bow in his hand, just like the Qin terracotta warriors. There was even a golden toad painted on the top floor of the shopping mall with its mouth wide open, as if it was swallowing something. When Yang Lin finished the last stroke of the golden toad, he handed the design to Li Wanbo. Okay, if we modify it according to this, I guarantee that this mall will make a lot of money every day in the future. Hearing Yang Lin's words, Li Wanbo was also overjoyed. But at the same time, he couldn't help but show a hint of doubt. I dare to ask, sir, what are the meanings of these arrangements? I know a little bit about this sunken square. It should be meant to attract wealth from all directions. This screen wall. Obviously, it was not only Li Wanbo who was curious about Yang Lin's design, but everyone else was also confused. It seems that he is wondering how this design is worth 100 million. Yang Lin quickly gave a corresponding explanation. The screen wall here plays the role of hiding the wind and absorbing the energy. What about the statues above? Take psychological comfort. Seeing these statues, customers will not think of the corpse hiding cases that happened before. Faced with Yang Lin's straightforward answer, everyone was speechless. What special meanings do the two statues have? Li Wanbo asked again. Naturally, the entire shopping mall is guarded to ensure that the wealth does not leak out and evil spirits cannot enter. That's it. Li Wanbo couldn't help but nodded. Finally, he also looked at the golden toad at the top of the mall. Taoist priest, isn't this golden toad too ugly if placed at the top of the shopping mall? Hearing Li Wanbo's words, others nodded in agreement. They could even imagine that if such a big golden toad was placed at the top of the shopping mall might be called Toad Plaza by the citizens in the future. It wasn't until Yang Lin's next explanation that they suddenly realized. Ugly? How could it be ugly? This golden toad is the highlight of all designs. The golden toad has a hollow belly, filled with water, and an artificial waterfall on its mouth. As long as the switch is turned on, the water in the waterfall will flow down from the roof of the 9th floor into the pool in the middle of the sunken square. If a water circulation system is installed, the water in the sky and on the ground can achieve water circulation, and water vapor is wealth. When a golden toad spits water, why not worry about getting rich and lucky? As Yang Lin finished his last sentence, Li Wanbo suddenly became excited. He seemed to be able to see the spectacular scene of crowds of people after the mall opened. Wonderful, really wonderful. Having such a big golden toad that attracts money will not only attract wealth, but also many customers will come here just to get rich. This way you will gain popularity and wealth. After getting excited, he quickly looked at Yang Lin with a grateful expression. Taoist master, you have helped me a lot. You give me an account and I will send you the reward. Besides, when the mall opens, you must come. After saying this, he seemed to have thought of something again, and quickly added another sentence. Director, since the mall has been redesigned, it seems inappropriate to call it by the previous name. Why don't you give me another name? The naming fee will be charged separately. For good luck, how about I give you 880,000? As soon as Li Wanbo said these words, everyone who had not yet recovered from the previous layout was completely convinced. But when I think that he has already given away 100 million, there seems to be nothing to make a fuss about. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 72. Yang Lin obviously didn't expect that Li Wanbo would show up like this in the end. But the money has already been delivered to your door, so there is no reason to not want it. After thinking for a moment, he picked up a pen and wrote 4 words on the paper, Jinshan Square. At the same time, he did not forget to draw a naive little golden toad that looked like a gold ingot on the side. After finishing the painting, he casually handed the paper in his hand to Li Wanbo. Mr. Li, let's see what happens. Hearing Yang Lin's words, Li Wanbo quickly glanced at the words and patterns on the paper. The next second he slapped his thigh and said, Okay, From now on this place will be called Jinshan Square. I was opposed to it when they named it Cloud Era. Jinshan Square is still suitable for me. It is elegant, and down to earth. After saying that, he casually called the secretary beside him. Contact the advertising company and immediately replace the original name with the name given by the Taoist priest. In addition, the logo of the mall has also been changed according to the golden toad drawn by the Taoist priest. I like it very much. Okay, Mr. Lee, I'll arrange for someone to do it right away. The secretary was about to leave immediately after taking the piece of paper. But at this moment, Lee Wanbo seemed to think of something again, and quickly added another sentence. By the way, contact President Chiu of the Citibank and ask him to open a special account for the Taoist priest, and then deposit all the remuneration that should be paid to the Taoist priest. Okay, no problem. After the secretary officially left, Li Wanbo looked at Yang Lin again. Tao Zhongyang, it will probably take a while before the money arrives. How about having a casual meal together? The Blue Ocean Hotel under my name is not far away. After hearing Li Wanbo's words, Yang Lin noticed that it was almost 6 o'clock. Touching his already somewhat empty belly, he nodded the next second. That's good. After Mr. Li said this, Pandeo is indeed a little hungry. After speaking, he looked at the people on the program team. Pack up and prepare to get off work. Let's eat somewhere else today. Yang Lin suddenly said this, and several staff members on the program team did not react for a moment. What? Is it time for dinner again? Didn't time pass so quickly? We just started work not long ago. Wait a minute, Blue Ocean Hotel, is it the one next to it? While talking, the program team members all looked to their right. Following their gaze, they saw a luxurious building with a unique shape, like a large sailboat. At the top of the building, the 5 characters of Blue Horizon Hotel are so conspicuous. Almost without checking, they knew that this must be another 5-star or above hotel. And when they actually searched, the expressions on their faces were immediately stunned. Holy shit! 6 stars. It's the only 6-star hotel in Jinghai. Is this also a property of Jinlun Group? Are we really going to have dinner in a place like that today? This is too luxurious. Yesterday I ate the best private kitchen in Jinghai, and today I ate at the best hotel in Jinghai. Oh my god, what kind of life is this? Fortunately, I didn't buy anything when I saw the roadside stall. Stop talking, pack your things quickly and get ready to go. Just when several staff members of the program team were extremely excited, the audience in the live broadcast room on the other side exploded. What great virtues have these people accumulated? They eat and drink with Yang Lin every day. I don't believe that Yang Lin is really that good unless I am allowed to experience it for a day. Just ask the program team if there is still a shortage of people. I can work for a fee. It's useless, it's useless. These people are useless. Let's see what they do after the recording of the show is over. That's the Blue Horizon Hotel. It's one of the top hotels in the Jinghai hotel industry. The seafood inside is unparalleled. I heard that there is a large marine ecosystem in the center of the hotel, and there is also a beluga whale in it. As an ordinary worker, I feel that I will never have the chance to go in and take a look in this life, but it just so happens that Yang Lin can take us in today to see something. Just as the audience was talking a lot, Yang Lin got into the luxury car arranged by Li Wanbo. The Su family's father and son, who were accompanying him, also sat in the car. As for the staff members of the program team, they drove there alone. In just over 10 minutes, the group followed Li Wanbo to the interior of the Blue Horizon Hotel. As soon as he stepped into the hotel door, the scene in front of him immediately attracted everyone's attention. In the center of the splendid hotel, a huge cylindrical aquarium with a height of tens of meters and a diameter of dozens of meters was continuously emitting dripping water. In the aquarium, countless marine fish swim in it, and a large number of live corals and algae thrive in it. Coupled with the lights on the top of the hotel, it makes people feel like they have strayed into the underwater world. Suddenly, everyone in the program team and the audience who saw the scene for the first time in the live broadcast room were all lost in this beautiful scenery. Only Yang Lin looked thoughtfully at a corner of the aquarium, where he felt an unusual aura. And just as he was looking at the aquarium in front of him, Li Wanbo's voice came from the side. "This aquarium cost me more than 800 million yuan. Oddly enough, my financial fortune has been very good since I got this aquarium. By the way, I bought a beluga whale from Mao Zi at a high price last year. I don't know where it is hiding today. Forget it, no matter what, let's eat first." But as soon as he finished speaking, Yang Lin suddenly stopped him. "Mr. Li, I take the liberty to ask, do you have any children?" Suddenly hearing Yang Lin ask this question, Li Wanbo suddenly showed a look of doubt on his face. "Not yet. I'm ashamed to say it. I'm 47 today. I've had 3 wives, but I don't have any children. I've also been to various major hospitals for examinations, and the doctors said there's nothing wrong with my health. I even donated a lot of money to those temples, but it was of no use. But now I have looked back. Every gain must come with a loss. After making so much money, I may be destined to have no descendants in this life." After saying that, he seemed to realize something again, and quickly turned his gaze to Yang Lin. "Taoist priest, have you noticed something? Still, you have a way to cure my infertility." As soon as he said these words, other people present immediately looked over with puzzled faces. They didn't seem to understand why the conversation between them suddenly shifted to infertility. And at this moment, Yang Lin suddenly said something that everyone found incredible. "Mr. Li, you are destined to have a child, and now your child is only a stone's throw away from you." "What?" Hearing Yang Lin's words, Li Wanbo immediately started looking around. He seemed to be trying to find out who his son was. And when he saw it, the expressions of other people present couldn't help but become worried. Until Yang Lin pointed his finger into the aquarium. "Mr. Li, you don't have to look for it. The one who has a father-son bond with you is none other than the white whale inside. As long as you release it back into the sea now, your son will meet you soon." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 73. As soon as Yang Lin's remarks came out, the audience who saw the scene through the live broadcast lens was in an uproar again. "What does Yang Lin mean? I thought he meant that Mr. Li's son is also in the hotel, but you told me that his son is a whale." "Stop talking, Mr. Li has no son. I am willing to be his son and provide for him in his old age." "Go away, I am Mr. Li's son. I think the camera boy is more likely to be Mr. Li's son than the whale. It's too much, it's too much. Although beluga whales are also advanced mammals, they still have reproductive isolation. Mr. Li will never do that. Didn't you agree to come here for dinner? Why are you treating her for infertility? Is this something Yang Lin can treat? Is it paid or free? I have a friend." "No, is his business scope so complex? Besides, releasing the beluga whale into the sea seems to have nothing to do with treating infertility." Just when everyone expressed their disbelief, Yang Lin finally explained. "In our Taoism, releasing animals is a very sacred thing, and it is also one of the many practices. If used properly, there will be many blessings, no disasters, all kinds of good luck, long life and good health, many children and good men, gratitude to all creatures, no disasters, rebirth in heaven, peace all year round, and eternal life and happiness." After listening to Yang Lin's explanation, everyone present suddenly understood. No wonder there are so many uncles and aunts letting wild animals roam free. It turns out they are doing this. Is it really that effective? If it works, I want to try it too. Last time I saw someone releasing mineral water. I don't know what the magical effect is. It's better not to release them casually. Those animals released casually will most likely die. This will definitely not be effective. How can we explain this scientifically? Taoist priest, is it true what you said? As long as the white whale is released, I can have a son. In front of the aquarium, after listening to Yang Lin's remarks, Li Wanbo was more excited than anyone else. It would be such a shame if there was no one to inherit such a big family fortune. Originally, he was ready to donate all his property after his death, but he didn't expect that Yang Lin would bring him such a big surprise. Of course, Pandeo won't lie to you. Okay. Since you have said so, Taoist master, then I will not be vague. After saying that, Li Wanbo immediately notified the hotel and arranged for several divers to enter the aquarium. Finally, after a lot of trouble, the divers successfully pulled the beluga out, and then transferred it to the sea less than 5 kilometers away from the hotel in a car. During this process, Yang Lin and others were also led into a luxurious private room by Li Wanbo. Before the food was served, the person in charge of releasing the animals reported the success of the release. Hearing the news, Yang Lin couldn't help but nodded. At the same time, Li Wanbo, who had just sat down, heard a cell phone ringtone. Glancing at the caller ID, he answered the call without thinking. After more than 10 seconds, his expression changed instantly, and at the same time, his eyes couldn't help but look towards Yang Lin. By the time he hung up the phone, his hands were shaking with excitement. Taoist master, my wife called and said that she just had a dream, in which a white whale got into her belly. I have arranged for the doctor to come to her house for a physical examination. Although he didn't finish what he said, everyone already understood what he meant. If I had such a dream normally, no one would take it seriously. But the problem is that Li Wanbo just released a beluga whale on the front foot, and his wife fell asleep on the back foot. There's absolutely no way this could be a coincidence. There is a high probability that her wife is pregnant, as Yang Lin said. Just when everyone was stunned, Yang Lin was the first to congratulate. Congratulations, Mr. Li. If nothing else happens, your son will be born safely in 10 months. Ha 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 ha, thank you so much, Taoist priest. You are really the most noble person in my life. I don't know how to thank you. After knowing that he was pregnant, Li Wanbo was extremely excited at the moment, and the smile on his face never broke. Smiling, he seemed to have thought of something. By the way, I happened to get a piece of land near Long Mountain recently. I didn't even know what to do with it. How about I build a Taoist temple for you as a reward? Calculating the time, if we start the construction now, by the time my son is born, the Taoist temple will be built. If he can be allowed to worship you, the Taoist priest, again. As soon as Li Wanbo finished speaking, everyone present looked at each other in confusion. Sending a Taoist temple as a thank you gift may sound a bit awkward, but considering Yang Lin's identity, it is quite appropriate. The only thing that made them doubt was whether Yang Lin would really stay in the Taoist temple and practice Taoism in the future. Yang Lin himself seemed to have no objection to his proposal. As the dishes were served one after another, the guests and hosts were enjoying themselves for a while. The only ones who are pitiful are probably the viewers in the live broadcast room. They could watch it but not eat it, but they were so greedy. By the time the dinner was over, it was already 10 o'clock in the evening. During this period, the number of people in Yang Lin's live broadcast room once reached 1.5 million. Among these people are old fans of Yang Lin, as well as some new viewers who have heard about it. Of course, the staff and artists from other groups of the program are also indispensable. Now they have developed a habit. When it's dinner time, Yang Lin's live broadcast room becomes their electronic mustard. Watching Yang Lin and others eating a luxurious meal, the lunch boxes in their hands became much more fragrant. And after the live broadcast ends, what comes is a feast for marketing accounts and self-media. Although Yang Lin only broadcast live for half a day today, this half day produced more elements than the previous day. Each piece of content is top-notch material that can attract the attention of the entire internet. From Yang Lin's cracking of the bald master's nightmare suppression technique, to Yang Lin's restoration of more than a dozen corpses to their original appearance, and helping the police solve several cases in a row. Then to the astronomical remuneration of 100 million and the astronomical name change fee of 880,000, and finally Yang Lin fulfilled Li Wanbo's dream of becoming a father through non-scientific means. In just a few hours of live video, countless famous scenes and a large number of hot topics can be edited. There are so many elements that we can't cut them all. We can't cut them all at all. At this time, the program team officially released today's revenue list. When Yang Lin's terrifying revenue figures of hundreds of millions appeared on the list, the 4- and 5-digit figures of several other artists had no meaning. In an instant, the whole network was shocked. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 74. The variety show Come On Workers has attracted the attention of netizens since its launch due to its positioning and star guest lineup. The main theme is to allow celebrity artists to participate in the lives of ordinary working people. The starting point was good, but no one expected that an alien like Yang Lin would appear midway. On the first day of broadcasting, the revenue exceeded 10,000 yuan, on the second day, the revenue exceeded 1 million, and on the third day, the revenue exceeded 10 million. On the fourth day, his revenue was already in the hundreds of millions. It would be okay if it was just him, after all, the audience is used to it. But in today's data, not only did Yang Lin's own revenue exceed 100 million, but the income of the three bosses Yang also increased by leaps and bounds to a staggering level. Top 2, Boss Yang, daily income of 37,000 yuan. Top 3, Lu Tianxian, daily income of 35,000 yuan. Top 4, Reba, daily income of 29,000 yuan. So as soon as the official announcement came out, the comment area below exploded. I'm going to die, are you sure Yang Lin's revenue is correct? Did you earn more than a small target in one day? It's crazy. Our leading company and tax benchmark can't make so much in a day. The money Yang Lin makes in one day is equivalent to the net profits of many large companies for a year. Originally it was a documentary variety show, but now it has become a fantasy film, an urban entertainment show. I never dreamed of winning the lottery so much. Ignore Yang Lin for now. If you watch his live broadcast, you will find that it is really not too much to earn so much based on his ability. The person he deals with is either a big boss or the god of wealth. Yes, Yang Lin can no longer be regarded as an ordinary migrant worker. The most outrageous thing is probably Boss Yang and the other three. Yesterday, their income was 4 digits, but today it suddenly jumped to 5 digits. It's so different from Dapu. Selling clothes or beauty products on the roadside can generate a turnover of tens of thousands. The program team has confirmed that the customers who come to them to buy things are all locals and foreign tourists, excluding fans. Don't ask, it's the cheating device given by Yang Lin. The effect is too powerful. It's so funny. There are 7 guests in total, and now only Kunkan, Xiaoyu, and Huahua are the real migrant workers. Ha ha ha, the 3 of them have 3-digit revenue today, and Kunkan's balloon was confiscated by the city management. You don't make a penny, the main thing is the truth. In terms of down-to-earthness, it has to be our pigeons. There is no doubt that the official team of this wave of programs has won again. The marketing expenses originally prepared have not been spent at all. Because they found that as long as Yang Lin was there was no need for additional marketing. At the same time that the whole network was talking about it, a group of senior executives from the Come On, Fight the Workers program group also gathered together again. As the main creator, Yao Yuan sat in front of the conference room with a proud look on his face. After confirming that all senior executives had arrived, he immediately got straight to the point. Everyone, the show has been aired for 4 days, and our popularity and playback volume are still #1 on the entire network. This is the result of all of us working together. But as soon as he finished speaking, he felt a little guilty and quickly added another sentence. Of course, the contributions of the guests come first. So next I am going to plan an event for celebrity guests to bring goods, which can be regarded as a wave of interaction with fans. Bringing goods activity. As soon as Yao Yuan's proposal came out, doubts appeared on the faces of all the staff present. Isn't that good? Wouldn't that be off topic? Yes, I think this program is hard-earned. It is better to take a long-term view. I think so too. Carrying goods is a bit different from ordinary workers. Before everyone had finished speaking, Yao Yuan hurriedly explained. Don't get me wrong, this is not the kind of product that is linked to the brand. Instead, each of the celebrities takes out a certain amount of self-operated products and sells them in the live broadcast room. We will donate the money sold to some needy people in need. After Yao Yuan's explanation, everyone suddenly understood. That's right, that's a bit confusing. Yes, if you are selling your own products, there is no problem with advertising, but it is most likely that fans will foot the bill. What are you afraid of? The things sold by those guests are all cheap products and not worth much. Fans are willing, the guests are also willing, and they can also do charity, so they can benefit from it. Boss Yang will definitely be selling clothes, Reba will be selling cosmetics, and Lu Tianxian will be selling cultural and creative products. So the question is, what will Yang Lin sell? As a staff member raised this question, everyone in the conference room was immediately stunned. After thinking for a long time, they could not figure out what products Yang Lin had sold in the past few days. Xiao Yuiyu sells food, and Kunkan and Huahua also sell small commodities. Only what Yang Lin sells is not a physical product at all, it can only be said to be a concept. Suddenly everyone was in trouble. You can't let Yang Lin just watch from the sidelines when other celebrities are selling their products during the live broadcast. At this time, another staff member raised another serious question. Actually, I think there is a more serious problem. There are so many fans of other celebrities that if you sell a pack of air, someone will pay for it. Does Yang Lin have any fans? As soon as these words came out, the already awkward atmosphere suddenly became even more awkward. Because it is true as he said, other celebrities easily have millions or tens of millions of fans. Although Yang Lin was also an insider before, his number of fans was only a few 100,000, which was not of the same magnitude at all. When other celebrities sell things, no matter how bad the goods are, their fans will always tell the truth. Where did Yang Lin get his fans? Just when things reached a deadlock, a female staff member wearing glasses in the corner suddenly raised her hand. I think you may have misunderstood Yang Lin. How about you take a look at Yang Lin's account on Douyin and blog before talking? Hearing her words, everyone in the conference room was stunned for a moment, and then quickly took out their mobile phones and entered the word Yang Lin on Douyin. The next second, a user with no avatar and only a nickname named Yang Lin popped up. The number of fans column under the nickname blinded them. 28.89 million. In an instant, no one knew what to say. If they remember correctly, before Yang Lin joined the group, he only had 180,000 fans. Only 4 days later, the number of fans increased by almost 30 million. It's almost equal to those top players. I don't know how long it took before Yao Yuan, the main creator, took a deep breath. By the way, let's ask Xiao Ma's team what Yang Lin is planning to do tomorrow and whether he has received any new business. As soon as he finished speaking, a person in charge replied. I've already asked, and Yang Lin said he won't be ready to sell the stall tomorrow. Not going to show up? Then what is he going to do? Lie in the hotel all day? Yao Yuan said with a puzzled look. He said he was going to spend money. Spend money? Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 75. Early the next morning, in the hotel room, as Yang Lin slowly opened his eyes, a foul air slowly came out of his mouth. And this filthy air is the impurities in his body. As he successfully entered the realm of real people, his body gradually evolved towards a higher level. My magic power has improved a lot, but I still need to continue to practice hard before I can reach the next level. After muttering to himself for a while, he immediately stood up and glanced at a bank card beside the bed. This bank card was given to him by Li Wanbo after the dinner yesterday, and it contained all the rewards Li Wanbo had promised him before. And his task today is to transform the money in this card into something useful for practice. After these few days, he also discovered that although this world has no spiritual energy and no natural treasures, there are some things that are of great benefit to practice. Especially some antiques handed down from ancient times, some of which carry the dragon spirit of the dynasty, and some of which carry a little power of cause and effect, are all rare treasures. Just when he was thinking this, there was a knock on the door at the right time. Teacher Yang, are you up? It's time for us to set off. Hearing this voice, Yang Lin casually twitched his fingers. The next second the door opened in response. Then several people from the program team appeared. As soon as they opened the door, they said excitedly, Teacher Yang, we have already inquired about it. The most famous antique trading market in Jinghai is on Jiu Avenue, 8 kilometers away from us. The whole street there is selling toys, calligraphy, paintings, and jade jewelry. I heard that the street sweepers can sweep out gold from time to time. But there are also a lot of fakes there. Ordinary people who don't have some basic common sense are best not to go there casually. After hearing what they said, Yang Lin nodded calmly, then glanced at the time. Let's go to the Jiu Avenue you mentioned. Okay. Do you want to have some breakfast first? No, just buy some on the way later. While talking, Yang Lin left the hotel under the leadership of several members of the program team. Not long after, they drove Yang Lin to the southeast of the hotel. At the same time, the person responsible for filming also started the live broadcast. As soon as the live broadcast started, a large number of viewers immediately poured in. Wow, it's only 7:30. Yang Lin left the stall so early today. That's right, I was stunned when I saw the live broadcast room opened. It's over. Is he starting to roll? If you still want to roll money after making 100 million, then why don't we roll money? Is there a possibility that he calculated that he would have good fortune this morning, so he went to work in the morning? It's possible, but it's so early. Are you sure you can meet customers? I thought he would wait until the afternoon to start broadcasting again today, but he is sitting in the car right now. Isn't he going to stay on Lovers Street? The audience in the live broadcast room was full of doubts for a while, but apparently no one could answer them this time. After more than 20 minutes, the program crew finally arrived at a bustling street market. At the main entrance of the market, an antique wooden archway stands out. Directly above the archway is the Jinghai Cultural and Antique Trading Market. Seeing this, the already confused audience was even more confused now. Huh? Isn't this Jiu Street? Why is Yang Lin here today? Jiu Street? What is it for? Are there any locals here? Locals are here, and to be honest with you, you outsiders must not come to this street. It is designed to trick outsiders. Fart, you are not a local from the first glance. What do you mean by trying to trick outsiders? We are obviously trying to trick locals here, and we treat everyone equally. Let me tell you this, the antiques here are from the Shang and Zhou dynasties, some from the last week, some from real gold, some from aluminum alloy, some from the Ming and Qing dynasties, and some from the Qing-Ming dynasty. The relevant public is pursuing Han Xian under the moon, and there are also those who are fishing for King Wen in Asia from Taipei. What is this? Have you seen the bronze concave and convex man? Have you seen the Qin heavy machine gun servant? In a word, when Father Ma comes, he will have to spend 200 million to buy a bunch of broken glass and go back. Anyway, if others ask for 100 yuan, if you cut it to 5 yuan, the boss can still make 90% of the profit. I'll go, is it so fierce? If Yang Lin comes here today, he won't lose all the money in his hand. There's nothing you can do. You really can't call the police. Just when everyone in the live broadcast room vaguely realized what Yang Lin was going to do this time, he himself had already strode into the pedestrian street. As soon as we entered it, the bustling sound of people could be heard, and people could be seen coming and going everywhere. There are merchants and tourists who come to try their luck in picking up treasures, and there are also antique dealers selling various antiques. The first thing that caught his eye was a man holding a blue and white disc to sell. Come, take a look, the newly collected UN blue and white flowers from the official kill are the only ones in the world. But as soon as he finished speaking, a young man who was watching looked at the bottom of the plate and joked. Boss, why does it say microwave oven only underneath this UN King Hua? As soon as these words came out, the onlookers burst into laughter. Yang Lin looked at it and shook his head, but he had just taken 2 steps when there was another middle-aged man with a mustache in front of him, holding a sword and saying loudly. The 8-sided Han sword passed down from our ancestors was worn by Emperor Jiaozu of the Han dynasty. My mother at home was seriously ill and needed money urgently, so I took it away with 3 million. As soon as he finished speaking, a spectator looked puzzled and said, Boss, didn't you sell the same one last week for only 3,000 yuan? Hearing this, the mustache didn't panic at all. What do you know? The emperor of the Han dynasty used a double-pronged sword. The male sword was sold last week, and the female sword was sold this week. If you don't want to buy a sword, I also have a crane-build pot passed down from the Tang dynasty. Concubine Yang used this to hold wine. After speaking, he seemed to notice Yang Lin who was watching on the side, and quickly pulled Yang Lin over, and put a kettle with shiny silver tiles in his hand into Yang Lin's hand. At first, Yang Lin looked at it with a little curiosity, until he saw the 3 big numbers on the bottom of the pot -304. When this scene was presented to the audience through live broadcast footage, the audience immediately became happy. Ha ha ha, I'm laughing so hard. The locals in Jinghai really didn't lie to us. What the hell are all this? Did Yang Guifei use 304 stainless steel at that time? As expected, it is produced by the palace, and it is safe and guaranteed. Run quickly, what valuable things can you buy here? It's all fake at first glance. There were so many things just now, and the oldest one is the old man who sells them. There are so many things, but the combined age is not as old as the Jinghai Evening News lying underneath. Just when all the viewers agreed that Yang Lin couldn't find anything good here, Yang Lin himself was already walking towards a shop with a pile of stones. After getting closer, his eyes were fixed on the head-sized piece among the pile of stones. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 76. And just when Yang Lin walked towards the pile of stones, his abnormal behavior also attracted the attention of everyone in the program team. They immediately followed with filming equipment. What's wrong, Teacher Yang, did you find anything? Could this pile of stones be jadeite stones? No way, it looks like a random pebble picked up by the river. You've never seen jadeite stones, how do you know they don't look like pebbles? While several members of the program crew were arguing, some passers-by also gathered around. But after seeing clearly what Yang Lin and others were watching, they all shook their heads and walked away. TCH. I thought it was something good. Isn't this just the junk that old man Wu bought back from southern Yunnan? I heard that old man Wu invested all his life savings into it. Betting on dogs is not worthy of pity, and gambling on stones is even less deserving of pity. His granddaughter is pitiful. I heard that the man blocked the door several times and asked for betrothal gifts. How can their family get it now? Old man Wu used all the money to buy these broken stones. Before everyone could finish speaking, a crazy, unkempt white-haired old man rushed out from a nearby shop. Then he threw himself directly on the pile of rocks. Then the person behind said crazily, "I can't be mistaken, there will definitely be jade in here. As long as I sell it, I can pay off all my debts." But as soon as he finished speaking, a girl in her 20s and a long skirt walked out of the shop. After seeing the old man's condition, she couldn't help but sigh. "Grandpa, these have been appraised by someone a long time ago. They are all waste. Even if our family is short of money, we can't use it to continue to deceive people. I'll figure out the money thing myself, but you can't keep these stones for anything. They've become a demonic obstacle to you." As soon as she finished speaking, she was already preparing to throw the raw jade stones on the ground that were identified as waste into the trash can nearby. Although the old man wanted to stop it, he could only protect one or two pieces. Just when the girl was about to throw a piece of scrap under the old man's chest into the trash can, a big hand as gentle as jade suddenly stopped her. "Can you not throw away this piece first? I want to buy it." Hearing this sudden sound, the girl in the long skirt stopped immediately. As soon as she looked up, she saw a little Taoist priest wearing a blue robe looking at her with a smile. Before she could explain, the crazy old man on the side hurried over. "Boss, you are discerning. This rough stone is most likely to produce jadeite. It is either water type or ice type, and the last one is glass type. The two of us are destined. How about I sell it to you at a cheap price today?" As soon as the old man finished speaking, those watching the excitement all burst into laughter. "Old Wu Tiou is crazy again. He will lie to people when he is caught. That's right, as for his pile of scraps, there are not even 1,000 but 800 people who have seen it. Not to mention it's a glass plant. It's good if you can see green when you open it. He is probably crazy because of his poverty. He wants to trick people whenever he sees them. Only a fool would be fooled by him." He didn't know who to look for. He found a little Taoist priest. Can the little Taoist priest afford his things? It's just that this little Taoist priest doesn't have much money at first glance. He might not be able to deceive him even if he wants to. Amid the laughter of everyone, the girl in the long skirt quickly pulled the old man aside, and then apologized to Yang Lin. "I'm sorry, Taoist priest, we won't sell this anymore." But as soon as she finished speaking, Yang Lin asked in confusion, "Why not sell it? Pandeo has taken a fancy to this stone. This stone is indeed destined to Pandeo, as the old gentleman said. The old man might as well make a price." No one expected that Yang Lin would finally say such words, so that they were all stunned after Yang Lin finished speaking. The fans and viewers in the live broadcast room were also secretly worried about him. Wow! He must be crazy. Others say that old man is a liar, but he still insists on buying it. Could it be because someone else's granddaughter looks good looking? I don't understand. It's obvious that he's a liar, but he still insists on being fooled. That's not how he makes a lot of money. That is to say, it is obvious that I am unlucky and want to find another victim. The only thing those onlookers said wrong is that Yang Lin is really rich. Is there a possibility that Yang Lin calculated that there was jade in this pile of stones, so he insisted on buying it? It's impossible. Do you know where this place is? The difficulty of picking up leeks is as high as the sky. People are deceived every day. There won't be one person who picks up leeks every few years. That's right, this pile of stones is placed at the corner of the street, and no one has picked it up. This is enough to prove that these are waste materials among waste materials. It doesn't matter. If Yang Lin really likes the stone, and the price is not that expensive, I will just buy it. I'm happy if it can't be bought with a lot of money. That's right, you guys are really too lazy to worry about anything. And just when the fans in the live broadcast room were trying their best to dissuade him, the old man seemed to see that Yang Lin really wanted the stone. He raised his 5 fingers as soon as he rolled his eyes. Seeing him holding up 5 fingers, the people watching could not help but shake their heads in silence. Old Wu Tiou really dares to ask for a price casually when he sees someone young. 500 yuan is probably enough for the Taoist priest to live for a month. That's right, 50 yuan is too much for me. Why buy it back? Put it in a pickle jar to press pickles. However, before they finished speaking, old man Wu added another sentence. Little Taoist priest, you have already said that this stone is destined for you. 5 million won is not too much. Of course, if you sincerely want it, I can. Before he finished speaking, Yang Lin said lightly. It's fair. How do I pay? As soon as he said these words, old man Wu was instantly stunned. After being stunned for a long time, his eyes wandered and he said. Taoist priest, don't you bargain when you buy something. Monks don't bargain, they only value fate. The fate between Pandeo and this stone is worth 5 million, so Pandeo is naturally willing to pay the money to buy it. By the way, such large amounts are usually transferred via mobile banking, right? What's your account number, sir? As he spoke, Yang Lin took out his mobile phone and opened mobile banking. At this time, old man Wu didn't seem to have fully reacted, but subconsciously reported a long list of bank card numbers. Others around him didn't care. They even thought Yang Lin was teasing old man Wu. After all, Yang Lin doesn't look like someone who can casually spend 5 million. Even old man Wu's granddaughter did not step forward to dissuade Yang Lin at this moment. Until half a minute later, a text message ring came from old man Wu's pocket. With a trace of doubt, he casually took out his phone and found the text message interface. After just one glance, he was stunned, as if he didn't believe it, and he quickly rubbed his eyes again. After confirming that he had read correctly, the next second he looked at Yang Lin in disbelief. No, little Taoist priest, you really transferred 5 million. As soon as these words came out, everyone was instantly speechless. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 77. No one expected that things would eventually develop in such a direction. The grandfather and grandson surnamed Wu, the melon-eating crowd present, or the fans and viewers in the live broadcast room did not expect that Yang Lin actually transferred 5 million out casually. But judging from old man Wu's expression, it didn't look like he was telling lies. The old man's granddaughter was the first to react and snatched the old man Wu's cell phone. After taking a look at the payment message, she looked at Yang Lin in shock the next second. On the one hand, I didn't expect that Yang Lin could actually come up with 5 million, and on the other hand, I didn't understand why he, a quite normal person, would be fooled by such a low-level person. After a few seconds, she hurriedly said to Yang Lin with an embarrassed look. I'm sorry, Taoist priest, we can't take the money. That stone isn't worth that much either. I will transfer the money back to you immediately and give you the stone as well. As she said that, she was about to control her mobile phone to transfer back the 5 million she had just received. It was only then that everyone finally believed that Yang Lin had really transferred 5 million just now. The first people to explode were the melon eaters who were watching. Oh my god, where did this Taoist priest come from? This is the god of wealth. If he says to transfer 5 million, he will transfer 5 million. It's really blinding. This is the first time I saw someone casually taking out 5 million on Jiyu Street without blinking. Such a god of wealth, why don't you patronize my stall? The things on my stall are worth more than old Wu Tiaoyu's broken stones. He's here for charity, he doesn't look like he's mentally ill. He spent 5 million to buy a broken rock. That girl is also stupid. People have already given her the money willingly, and she still wants to pay it back. With these 5 million, it is enough to pay off all the foreign debts owed by their family. I'm a bit confused as to what he's planning to do. He has to spend 5 million to buy a piece of broken rock. Is it possible that we really made a mistake? For a moment, everyone present fell into deep self-doubt. Yang Lin on the other side had already taken the stone. Girl, I've already got the stone, and you don't have to give the money back. We've already cleared the money and goods, so you can accept it with peace of mind. After hearing his words, the girl in the long skirt who had already picked up her mobile phone and was about to return the 5 million she just came from didn't know what to do for a moment. Originally, she was worried that Yang Lin was joking or playing tricks on them. But his attitude was so determined, it didn't look like he was cheating at all. Just when she was a little confused about Yang Lin's thoughts, Yang Lin weighed the stone and asked, "Can Pandeo borrow the tools in your shop to untie the stone?" When she first heard Yang Lin's words, the girl in the long skirt didn't even react. But old man Wu on the side said impatiently, "Little Taoist priest, you have to think clearly. If you really untie it, I won't be able to retreat. This is the rule of the road. This is natural." Pandeo has never thought about retreating. Yang Lin nodded slightly. "Okay, please come with me." After confirming that Yang Lin had no intention of returning the stone, old man Wu immediately introduced him into the shop with a smile. As soon as he entered the store, a series of tools for processing stone appeared in front of Yang Lin. Among them are some knives for carving and angle grinders for dissolving stones. Seeing that Yang Lin had already begun to select tools, the people outside also shook their heads helplessly. Good words can't persuade the damn devil. Young people just don't listen. What can I do with these $5 million? It's just that this lesson is a bit too much to buy. We haven't started to solve it yet. Why are you so anxious? If a piece of top quality imperial green comes out, wouldn't you get your money back? What are you thinking about? It's just such a big piece of material. Even if the whole piece is imperial green, it's not worth 5 million. That's right. Even if there is one, it will only be a little bit in the center, and there is a high probability of cracks or mottled colors. No matter how you solve it, you're still losing money. Why are you still picking something? Looking at him like this, is it possible that he is still preparing to solve it himself? While everyone was talking about it, the program team quickly focused the camera on the 5 million stone in front of Yang Lin. Because Yang Lin was too confident before, the viewers in the live broadcast room who thought he was losing blood this time were made less confident. So when they knew that Yang Lin was going to untie the stone on the spot, they all held their breath. And at this moment, old man Wu also came over. "Little Taoist master, how about I help you solve it, old man? I'm familiar with the tools here. It won't hurt the material inside later." As soon as he finished speaking, Yang Lin shook his head. "No need, Pandeo has already found the tools." As he spoke, he picked up a fist-sized hammer lying nearby. Seeing Yang Lin suddenly pick up the hammer, everyone's expression suddenly froze. Why is he using a hammer to untie stones? Yes, he is not planning to smash the stone with a hammer. You're crazy. How can anyone crack the stone like this? With such a hammer blow, the material will become waste. I don't understand, I don't understand. He just doesn't care about 5 million stones. It shouldn't really be a smash, right? I've never seen anyone use a hammer in my life. Maybe it was just a joke from the beginning. While everyone was still shaking their heads, Yang Lin, who was holding a hammer, suddenly looked at the ordinary piece in front of him. It's like trying to see through the structure inside. The next second, amid countless exclamations, he hit the stone directly above with a hammer. Ding! Everyone heard a crisp sound, and the stone the size of a human head began to break from the top. From one crack to more than 10 cracks. When these cracks extended to the bottom, a layer of shell on the stone's surface fell off, revealing a purple light inside. When the purple light appeared, the onlookers' breathing became rapid. Anyone who knows something about jade knows what the appearance of purple light means. They never expected that this kind of grade of material would appear inside this ordinary piece of stone. However, as the stone cracked further, the disbelief that had just risen on their faces disappeared without a trace. It was replaced by deep ridicule. From their perspective, there was only a hint of purple in the stone. Below the purple is a bunch of messy colors. Some are emerald green, some are brown, and there are even a lot of cracks. Although the rare colors of jade are collected, the parts are messy, and the real jade content is not even 1/10. It takes all the effort to pick out a ring and it is a veritable waste. At this moment they almost laughed. The grandfather and grandson of the Wu family didn't look very good at the moment either. They thought the material would be bad, but they didn't expect it to be this bad. Just when they were about to apologize to Yang Lin suddenly laughed. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 78. The purer the color of jadeite, the better. Of course, there are some examples, such as the relatively high-quality 3-color jadeite. But the piece that Yang Lin smashed out with a hammer looked nothing like it. It could even be said that it had nothing to do with it. So much so that everyone couldn't figure out what he was laughing about. Was he laughing at his 5 million wasted? Teacher Yang, you are not really here to help this family, are you? Beside Yang Lin, a staff member from the program team whispered softly. Hearing his words, the Wu family's grandparents and grandchildren on the side were also full of confusion. Until now, they have not figured out who Yang Lin is and why he paid 5 million to buy their piece of scrap. After a while, old man Wu looked at the girl in long skirt beside him inexplicably. Just when he was about to ask something, Yang Lin reached out and picked up the opened piece of scrap. At the same time he said, "Old sir, can I borrow the tools you have here? Pandeo wants to process him." Suddenly hearing Yang Lin's question, the old man didn't quite understand what the processing he meant. But they had already spent 5 million, so such a small request still had to be met, so they nodded immediately. With old man Wu's permission, Yang Lin immediately found a carving knife on the tool wall nearby. When everyone else saw Yang Lin picking up the carving knife, the expressions on their faces could not help but change slightly. As for the fans in the live broadcast room, they were already confused at this moment. What is Yang Lin going to do? I don't understand. 5 million is enough. Is he still planning to process this scrap? What can be produced from this mess, with less than 10% jade content in the waste? But judging from his appearance, it seems that he was sure that this was what the stone looked like from the beginning. He is obviously planning to use the knife himself. I want to see how he turns decay into magic. This can no longer be called decay, this is pure garbage. He started taking action. Under the gaze of the onlookers and cameras, Yang Lin seemed to be a different person after picking up the carving knife. Without any thought on his part, the blade fell directly on the stone. In an instant, stone chips were flying. The hard stone became like tofu under his knife. In less than a minute, he carved out a rough outline. But even so, everyone still couldn't figure out what he was carving. But it's not easy for them to ask too many questions. 5 minutes later, a white-haired old man wearing brown clothes took shape under Yang Lin's knife. Matches perfectly with the color of the material. 10 minutes later, a lifelike green bull appeared under the old man's seat, and happened to borrow the only piece of green jade. At this point, everyone could already see a prototype, and the expressions on their faces suddenly changed. Wonderful, he is so good at using images according to the situation. I didn't realize that this little Taoist priest is also a master of jade carving. Yes, he used all the little jade in that piece of scrap. Yellow Fei turned into an old man, and Green Fei turned into a green cow, both in form and spirit. It's wonderful, but it's too stingy. It would be nice if the material could be bigger. Yes, there are too many scraps around him, which completely affects his performance. But before those who were watching could finish speaking, the carving knife in Yang Lin's hand started to move again. As the tip of his knife danced, the large stone part in the middle of the stone quickly turned into a long and majestic pass. The originally slightly mottled stone joints combined with this majestic pass immediately revealed a heavy sense of age. Seeing this, everyone's mouths opened slightly open unconsciously. None of them thought that Yang Lin would even use those useless stones. But obviously this is not over yet. After carving out a pass as a whole, Yang Lin's blade immediately turned to the purple jade on the top of the stone. After a burst of sword light, the faint purple jade instantly turned into a dragon-shaped cloud across the sky. Directly from inside the customs to outside the customs. At this point, this piece of scrap material in everyone's eyes has begun to take shape under Yang Lin's superb knife skills. Xiongguan, the old man riding an ox, thousands of miles of purple, and the large tracts of white space. Some people who are familiar with historical allusions unconsciously have a paragraph popping up in their hearts. Purple Chi comes from the east for 30,000 miles, and the sage passes by this place on his westward journey. The green ox drives the old man, hiding his form and mixing with the vitality. What kind of waste is that? It's clearly a jade-carved version of Lao Tzu's journey to the west. Everything was used just right, and coupled with the ultimate carving skills, the eyes of those veterans who had been in the art and entertainment industry all year round suddenly became bright. They never dreamed that the young Taoist priest in front of them would actually create a miracle with a piece of scrap material that they scorned. Even the founder of the jade carving world has never done such a pioneering work. This is already the case for them, not to mention the layman in the live broadcast room. After the jade carving in Yang Lin's hand took shape, the barrage seemed to be at double speed. Awesome, I have no other words to say. Although I don't have any artistic bacteria, this one is visible to the naked eye. He did this, that, and a few times like this, and a worthless broken stone turned into something I can never afford in my life. How did Yang Lin know that there was a painting hidden in this broken stone? I don't know how to describe it, but at a glance, I feel it's very high-end and expensive. Indeed, no wonder Yang Lin keeps saying that this broken stone is destined to him, and that the feelings are hidden in the Taoist ancestors. This is no longer the category of ordinary handicrafts, this must be the level of collectibles. Be bold, it's a national treasure. The saint is traveling to the west. This scene is so majestic. If those in the Taoist sect saw it, they would probably regard it as a treasure. This can't be sold for hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. Tens of millions is about the same. This is probably the ceiling of the jade carving world. You don't need to think about this kind of thing to know that it can enhance your own luck. Putting it at home every day is equivalent to the blessing of a saint, tisk tisk tisk. And just as everyone in the live broadcast room was talking about it, Yang Lin also showed a satisfied look at this moment. As some viewers in the live broadcast room said, this jade has brought great luck since it was carved. The aura is so powerful that it is no longer just as simple as settling down a house. If he carries this jade with him, although it cannot directly speed up his cultivation, it can greatly increase his probability of encountering various opportunities and reduce obstacles on his cultivation path. Thinking of this, he was ready to put the jade carving into his sleeve. It happened that at this moment, a voice came from the side. "Taoist priest, do you want to sell this jade in your hand? I am willing to pay 30 million to buy it." As soon as these words came out, everyone's eyes instantly turned to the direction where the sound came from. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 79. It's no wonder that everyone is so unanimous. The number of 30 million is really too astonishing. The entire Wenwan antique street has not produced a few objects worth over 10 million yuan since its inception. When they followed the voice and found the speaker, someone immediately recognized his identity. Hey, isn't this the Sichuan boss who spent 8 million on a Tang dynasty manuscript of the Tao Te Ching at Tenguzai a few days ago? That's him. He's been wandering this street for a few days, hasn't he bought what he likes yet? I heard that he was also collecting old objects related to Taoism everywhere. It seems that he took a fancy to the saint's journey to the west that the little Taoist priest had just carved. But isn't his 30 million offer too outrageous? Buy a broken rock for 5 million, and sell it for 30 million. When will such an opportunity fall on me? For rich people like them, they are willing to spend more money to buy something they like. No wonder he had insisted on buying it before. It turned out that he had long believed that he could make a lot of money. Thankfully we were worried about others before, but it turns out we are the noobs. While everyone was whispering, Yang Lin also saw the generous person. What surprised him was that this man turned out to be just a young man in civilian clothes who looked to be in his early 30s. More importantly, this young man also has a temperament that he is very familiar with. Yang Lin immediately showed a smile on his face. I don't know which mountain this Taoist brother practices on. As soon as Yang Lin said these words, a look of surprise appeared on the young man's face. It seemed that he didn't expect Yang Lin to be able to tell his identity at a glance. After being stunned for a moment, he immediately responded with a greeting. I am Su Changshao. My father is a disciple of Qingcheng Mountain. I only lived with my father in the mountain for a few years when I was young. I am not a member of the Taoist section. I wonder which mountain you practice on, Brother Tao. After hearing this question from the commoner youth, Yang Lin thought for a moment and replied. Pandeo lived in Gazao Mountain in his early years, and then went to mission. A few years ago, he was employed in Longhu Mountain, and now he has entered the world of mortals. Su Changshao obviously did not expect that Yang Lin would have such rich experiences at such a young age, and he couldn't help but reveal a wry smile. Brother Dao, you have been in all 3 sects of the Shangqing dynasty. Maybe you are still my elder. After the two exchanged pleasantries for a while, Su Changshao continued the previous topic. Brother Dao, to tell you the truth, I really like the jade sculpture you just made. If you think 30 million is too little, I'm willing to offer you 50 million. I just ask you to part with me. Seeing his sincere face, which didn't look fake, everyone in the live broadcast room was in an uproar again. What's going on? You have to increase the price yourself. That is to say, it suddenly increased from 30 million to 50 million. House prices would not dare to rise like this. The key is that Yang Lin didn't say a word. What if someone is willing to sell it for 30 million? Sell? Why don't you sell it? If you sell it, you can make 25 million directly. I have finally seen the huge profits in the entertainment industry. Is there a possibility that the real value is Yang Lin's craftsmanship? If I have this skill, can I carve a Doraemon out of jade and sell it for 1.8 million? You can't watch this kind of video too much. If you watch it too much, you'll feel like it's easy to make money. That's right, it can easily cost millions or tens of millions. For 50 million, I think it's time to take action. Just when everyone agreed that Yang Lin would sell the jade sculpture, he shook his head very firmly. Brother Deo, there is no need to say anything. Pandeo has no intention of selling it. 50 million or 500 million means nothing to Pandeo. After saying that, he looked at Su Changshao again, and with a glance, his expression showed something strange. I just heard that Brother Deo, you are collecting Taoist antiquities everywhere. You probably don't want to collect them. Hearing Yang Lin's words, Su Changshao nodded first, and then showed a hint of helplessness. It's really not for collection, but for some unavoidable reasons. As soon as he finished speaking, a look of understanding appeared on Yang Lin's face. I understand, poor Taoist. Your name is Longevity, and you are collecting Taoist antiquities everywhere. I am afraid you are not looking for those things with great luck to change your destiny. As soon as these words came out, Su Changshao's eyes were full of disbelief. Brother Deo, how do you know that? Not only him, but also other people present had different expressions after hearing Yang Lin's words. What does the little Taoist priest mean by that sentence? What kind of great luck and fate? Don't you understand this? Fate is a person's innate destiny. Some people are born with bad destiny and are at risk of dying young or dying early. They will wear something to change their destiny. Of course, those antiques that can change life are very expensive. It turns out that he came here for this reason. Really or not, this is feudal superstition. If you don't believe it, scientifically speaking, it is a magnetic field. Some things have a stronger magnetic field and can affect your personal magnetic field. No wonder he is willing to pay such a high price. The emotion is to save his life. Facing Su Changshao's question, Yang Lin pinched his fingers first, and then replied calmly. Your fate is indeed not very good. Although you have great ambitions, you will not live to be 35. If I calculated correctly, you should be 34 this year. As soon as Yang Lin finished speaking, Su Changshao was shocked. Brother Deo, you are absolutely right. I am indeed 34 this year. When my great master was still alive, he also declared that I would not live to be 35. That's why my father named me Longevity. It's a pity that time is like fate. It is indeed a pity. If you can survive, you will definitely do great things in the future. Yang Lin nodded. But it's definitely not feasible for you to use these foreign objects to forcefully change your life. Nothing in this world can be as big as the sky. Su Changshao was about to say something when he heard this, but Yang Lin added another sentence. Although destiny cannot be changed, Pandeo can help you survive the disaster safely. As soon as he heard these words, Su Changshao felt as if he had been reborn. Really? Brother Deo, you can really make me survive this disaster? As long as you can help me get through this catastrophe, I am willing to agree to any conditions. Of course, but not now. You can come to Lovers Street to find me at this time tomorrow. I will tell you exactly how to do it then. Okay, I will definitely be there tomorrow. After saying this, Su Changshao was about to turn around and leave. But at this moment, Yang Lin asked another question. By the way, where is the Tenguzai they just mentioned? Are there many old objects in it? Suddenly hearing Yang Lin ask this question, Su Changshao nodded immediately, then pointed to the depths of Wenwan Street and said. On this road, keep going forward, and that's the biggest store. After receiving Su Changshao's answer, Yang Lin immediately said to the people on the program team. Come on, let's go there and have a look. Entertainment, let you do a side job and set up a stall to tell fortunes. Author, Immortal Q int Love is. Chapter 80. Although he has obtained a treasure that can enhance his fortune, it is still far from Yang Lin's goal. More importantly, he has only spent 5 million out of the 100 million he has so far. So soon he followed the direction Su Changshao pointed and came to the literary and art shop called Ten Guzai. The scale of this store far exceeded Yang Lin's imagination. Other shops have only one floor. This shop has 3 floors, with a large number of antiques displayed on each floor. Jewelry, jade, porcelain, calligraphy, and painting, antiques and artifacts of different categories and periods can all be found here. From Yang Lin's point of view, more than 80% of these things are genuine and some old objects. But after looking around, he couldn't find anything that interested him. Immediately he looked at the stairs to the side. However, just as he was about to go upstairs, a middle-aged woman wearing a cheongsam walked up to him with a smile on her face. "Hello guest, what category do you want to see? You can tell me what you need and I will help you find it." Hearing her words, Yang Lin immediately shook his head. "No, I'll just look for it myself, but there's nothing I'm interested in on the first floor right now. I wonder if I can go up to the second floor and have a look." As soon as he finished speaking, the cheongsam woman showed an apologetic expression. "I'm sorry, guest. Our boss and several distinguished guests are currently discussing business on the second floor. It is temporarily inconvenient to go up to the second floor." As if she was worried that Yang Lin would think she was a big bully in the store, she quickly took out a tablet from the side and handed it to Yang Lin's hand. "Guest, if you want to see it, all the products on our second and third floors are on this tablet. You can take a look first, and then I'll get it for you. Can you take a look?" Seeing that the cheongsam woman was like this, Yang Lin couldn't say anything more and immediately looked at the display on the tablet. At first glance, he really discovered a few good things. Those items were a pair of gukin, a jade ruyi, an old ginseng, an ancient painting, and some feathers. These things either carry great luck or are made of special materials, such as the gukin, ancient paintings, and jade. As for the old ginseng and those few feathers, they play a great role in spiritual practice. After making the selection, Yang Lin also expressed his thoughts to the cheongsam woman one by one. The cheongsam woman was not too surprised, she just said with a smile. "Customers are very discerning, but some of these things are expensive, so customers just do what they can. Then please wait here for a moment, I will go up and get it for you." However, just as she was about to go upstairs, 3 people walked down the stairs. The 2 leaders were 2 middle-aged men, and behind them was an old man wearing a tang suit. Seeing this old man, Yang Lin's face suddenly showed a hint of surprise. Because if he remembered correctly, he had seen it at the collection exhibition in the hotel yesterday, and it was he who took the initiative to take out the golden needle. As for the name, it seems to be Chu Chun Song. Does this store belong to him? Before he could figure out what the relationship between the old man and this store was, the 3 people on the building started chatting. "Mr. Chu, we have given you a big advantage this time. Next time you have a chance, you have to treat us 2 brothers to dinner." "That's right, there are quite a few people on this street who want those treasures, and they can all afford them. We appreciate your kindness, boss, so we sold these things to you. Don't worry, brothers, I will send you the money later. When you get good things in the future, you must still think of me, old man." While talking, the 2 young men left the shop first, leaving only the old man alone. And with a quick glance, he also noticed Yang Lin standing in the hall on the first floor, and there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. "Taoist priest, why are you here? Why didn't you say hello in advance? Thanks to you yesterday, President Zheng is now out of danger. Doctors say he is a medical miracle." As he spoke, Mr. Chu quickly walked to Yang Lin. The cheongsam woman was stunned when she saw Mr. Chu's attitude towards Yang Lin. She couldn't understand why her boss was so polite to a young man. Come, Taoist master, please come upstairs." By chance, the old man, I made a pot of good tea. Just when Mr. Chu was about to invite Yang Lin to the second floor, Yang Lin glanced at the backs of the two people leaving outside the door. "Old man, who are these two?" Upon hearing Yang Lin's question, Mr. Chu immediately replied. "You're talking about the two brothers from the Zhou family. They are antique dealers who travel the streets. After receiving something good, I usually come here to take action." As soon as the old man finished speaking, Yang Lin shook his head. "That's strange. How can two living people have such heavy aura of death on their bodies? If they weren't still breathing, I would have thought they were dead." As soon as these words came out, Mr. Chu's expression instantly became serious. If someone else said this casually, he would definitely not believe it. But he has seen Yang Lin's ability before. No way, how could there be death energy in both of them? But before he finished speaking, Yang Lin glanced at him, and then said in a calm tone. "To be honest, I have it on you too, old man. Did you touch something just now?" "Ah." The old man obviously didn't expect that Yang Lin would say that he also had death energy on his body, and his expression suddenly became panicked. After thinking for a long time, he seemed to have thought of something, and he quickly pulled Yang Lin upstairs. "Taoist master, I remembered that the two brothers just sold me a few things. Did those things come from the wrong place? These two unlucky guys couldn't have been dug out of the dead's tomb. If that were the case, they would have caused me so much trouble." As soon as he finished speaking, the old man took the lead and ran upstairs. The pace was so fast that he didn't look like an 80-year-old man at all. Yang Lin on the side quickly followed after seeing this, and everyone in the program team followed closely behind. They knew that as long as Yang Lin spoke, there would be nothing wrong. At least Yang Lin has been right every time so far. So they also wanted to know what could actually make several living people contaminated with death energy. As for what the death energy is, they don't care. Yang Lin will explain it later. After they went upstairs, Mr. Chu had already taken out several things from a room. After Yang Lin saw these things, his expression suddenly changed.